Hi, Sonia Clark here again, bringing you some extra business tips. And I had these thoughts today as I was speaking to many people today. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon and I've been spending most of the day on the phone. I've been talking to various different clients and colleagues about various different training programs, putting them together, looking at tailoring some solutions for clients. There as an individual, as a business owner, and then looking at some other different tailored training solutions for staff or executive managers. It's been a very interesting day. And a lot of it still boils down to some underpinning parts of what makes your business. So when you're looking at putting together trainings and looking at, well, what is it that I really do need help with? The most important thing is that your organization has a very clear vision statement. Now, even whether you're a solopreneur and just on your own, or whether you are micro to small, being that you have a few staff, whether they're being virtual staff or not, and then when you become medium size, and then when you become large, you really need to have a very clear vision statement. And it's good to have be a little bit specific with that vision statement. I've actually known some organizations, small, medium, large, that with their vision statement, it's not been very specific and it's been very fluffy. So then when those organizations have tried to make them their mission statements and then put their strategic directions together, their plan of attack and their training programs, it doesn't align very well. There's not a lot of congruency, and it really does need to have that waterfall effect, that it's got to be very clear and specific with your vision statement first and foremost. Then next is your mission statement, which is how you're actually going to go to get there, to achieve that objective, that aim of the game, the vision statement. Then from there, you can look at the various different programs and plans as far as your business plans and your marketing plans, which is the lifeblood of your business. And then all the action steps there are under the different types of trainings that you'll need to be a part of to fulfill your skills, your knowledge, and your experience. But don't forget, vision, then mission. Again, if it's not clear, if it's not even written down, and you solopreneurs, you know that. You think it, but it's not written down. You need to write it down, because what happens then is it makes you to be even clearer on paper. Bounce it off with a couple of people and bounce the ideas around and how it sounds to them. See if you can reverse that statement backward to see what are the main points that really need to stand out. And that will help you find then the values. Those main points that are in the vision and the mission should be your values. And what I'd like to suggest to organizations is that you create some values or a value statement with key words that depict you as an organization and depict where you want to be. It might not always be right now, but at least where you're going. Because right now, tomorrow will be the past of where you're at right now. Whereas to the next day, the next week, the next month is the very near future, and that's what you need to leverage on. So you need to make sure that you have those underpinning values articulated out and written down. And then that way, when you're actually going about doing your projects, when you're doing any of your training sessions or looking at your processes and systems for your business, you have got something that's going to underpin your processes and procedures. So I just thought of another thing I can show you. What I like to suggest, and it's a project management tool / methodology, the old-fashioned way of making that all happen, and for you to, the primary things for you to consider, or topics for you to consider when it then comes to doing any of these types of projects, is the constraints triangle. Now, the constraints triangle typically used to be based on, the processes and systems, where I boiled that down to just a minute ago, that is all what's called scope, how you're going to go about it. What are those processes and what are those systems you're now going to put into play, and that will all meld with your mission, which is all the steps and processes to achieve your vision. And all of that needs to have your values into it. And it used to be, and the reason why it's changed is because things are happening so much faster these days. So it used to be that, okay, your scope was here in the middle, how you're going to do it, how you're going to be make all the processes and systems. And what depicts it then is money and quality and time. If you don't have as much time to do for the things that need to happen, then the quality could be affected and the money could be affected. If you don't have as much money, then time and quality, so on and so forth, around the actual constraints triangle. The thing is, it can still get skew-whiffed when you make this your underpinning value, right? Whereas if you make the underpinning value being your quality, what is the quality of that project? What is the quality of that product, that service? If you determine then the quality of that product or service, process, system, it will often then dictate to you the money that you've got to be able to throw at it, the money then you've got to be able to work with, the scope, all the processes and systems that are actually going to be involved, and then the time, the amount of time that you will give it. So if it's a high quality product or service, it may mean then you'll be able to give it more time, but you may not be able to give it so much money, which will then dictate, okay, this then takes up that the weighing, as far as if this is dropped and the time is high, this is in the middle, and this will determine then how much time and effort you will be putting into the processes and systems. If you don't have much time, but you wanted a fairly good quality, then you need to throw more money at it. Oop, I'm trying to do this back to front here. So then this is now gone less, this is going to go more, and this is going to go more. It all has to balance out. If you can imagine that the triangle of the constraint triangle is in water. If one's down, the others are up. And it can never really be all up or all down, but it really does depend on then the quality. High quality, medium quality, or low quality will then determine and depict on how much money, time, and all the processes and systems. And this is why project managers are tending to use this model more, as well as entrepreneurs, because it's a quicker thing that we're now dealing with our projects, which are linear. They have a start and a finish. They're not a continuous improvement. They're a start and a finish. Any project you do, we're now starting to do them, needing to do them a whole lot quicker. So there's some tips. If you need to then go out and do those projects, if you don't have your vision, mission, and values outlined very clearly and specifically, then you're going to get stuck with the rollout of your project. You can do the planning, sure, but it's the execution. I've seen it time and time and time again, no matter how organized and how experienced and how highly skilled those employees or those business owners can be. Start off strong and then continue to go on from there. So some extra tips I thought of to give you today because of the conversations that I've had today. I'd really love to know how this has helped you, and also what your take is on any of the information I've given. Love to have some feedback. So pop it in the response and the notes there. You can email me. You can reach out to me via any of these social media platforms that I'm using here, soniaclark.com, and I will see you again another time. Bye for now.